I've been part of the YouTube community for over a year now. That's when we made pipes, that's when I started to make friends with Bing and integrate myself in the society of it all. And one of my favourite things that has been happening over that year is the way that I've got to meet so many different people, whether or not they happen to be other content creators, bigger or smaller, whether it's at these house parties or things at the creator space where they want us to get to meet each other and to learn more from things. And the way I've constantly been learning, meeting, doing things in such a fun, encouraging way. At the beginning of June, a few of us were invited along to the advanced screening and premiere of Jon Favreau's new film, Chef, a culinary comedy, not quite coming of age, but building bridges and showing maturity when learning how to strengthen the gap between father and family. Jon Favreau has chosen to both direct and star in this film, where he is the head chef in an LA kitchen that is about to undergo a review by a previous customer who has turned into a massive, super popular food critic who is crazy influential. Kind of like if Perez Hilton wasn't so much of a douche and did food and didn't just draw cum stains on people's faces. The film follows the lead up to this, the preparation for the review that's about to happen, and then the results of a negative review and how he has to cope with that, both in the public eye on social media and in his personal life and with his team of other people in the kitchen. The way that it challenges him to grow, the way that he has to adapt and work out what he wants to fix and what he wants to change, whether or not this actual life that he's living at the moment is the one he wants, or whether it's just the one that he's accepting because it's easy. Whether or not he's doing things because that's what he really thinks he's deserving of, or because it's what he's been doing for so long. And that's something that I think a lot of creatives at least will be able to watch and really relate to. We're introduced to several really great characters throughout, including his son played by MJ Anthony, his ex-wife played by Sofia Vergara, people in the restaurant including John Leguizamo, Bobby Cannavale, Scarlett Johansson, Dustin Hoffman. But what really makes this film is how it's focusing on John's character Carl Casper and how he learns to love his work afresh. There are elements of comedy, a refreshingly simple soundtrack which doesn't really focus on having a score but instead works on culturally relevant songs for different locations that he visits. There's mouth-watering food and there's a great sense of adventure along with a story of love both for what you do and who you're with, which I loved. I really loved that. I love road trips, I love traveling, I love all of those aspects. It reminds you that you're never too old to start again, that you shouldn't quit just because someone has said something that puts you down, that you should instead use that as something that challenges you to be a better person, to build and to improve and to be something more than what you currently are. One of my favourite things about this film is how much there is of America that you get to see. As someone who used to love travelling out there, used to spend time in Los Angeles and Miami and New York and various different parts, and used to love going on little road trips from here to there, experiencing all these different things and trying not to do them in a tourist way. The film really covers this nicely. It barely stops at any places that you're likely to obviously recognise, even though they want to set the scene and let you know where the locations are. They don't just keep you stuck in these places, and that is something that I feel a lot of films are missing. A lot of films want to be like, you're in LA, you have to be on Sunset Strip. You're in like Hollywood now, great, have fun. You're in New York, let's go to Times Square. This doesn't just force you to be in those places, it lets you actually experience parts of the cities that you otherwise wouldn't have experienced. You know, you've got to go there, you've got to actually do these things, and that's what's normal and everyday about it that makes it better than these stupid blockbusters that only think that New York consists of this one little block here and this bit over here, and there's more. I love the way that each of the places are represented, but more so the way that when they use modern technology and social media such as YouTube, Twitter, blogs and Facebook, that it's very much an educated opinion. It shows you that they've actually looked into it and researched it and made sure that it's as authentic feeling and as realistic and dramatic and on point as it can be. And it shows you the real power of it in a both scary, realistic and parodied manner all at the same time. So there's two things that we got to do. The first day was the advanced screening. We went to the Soho Hotel as a collective of us, and we were given drinks, we were given snack foods, and we were just told to go in and sit down and to enjoy the film. There was a good lot of us that I recognised, but there were even more that I didn't, and apparently it was mainly a foodie based thing to try and encourage more food blogs to talk about it, rather than those that like to vlog and whatever else. At the advanced screening, Jon Favreau came out and introduced the film, told you to wait around at the end because there would be little clips coming up, and then he did a question and answer session. Once that was done, he actually stayed around and took photos with every person that was in the audience and stopped and talked and interacted and showed an interest, and just a thoroughly nice guy. From the way that he was paying attention to the different technology people had, the different cameras people were bringing along, or the t-shirts that they were wearing, or the hair color, or the way that they interacted with their friends, he could tell who was more and less relaxed, who wanted to ask what kind of questions afterwards, and he didn't seem in any rush to leave us. He just stayed about, talked, made sure he met everyone, shook hands, hugged and posed and all of that. From that, we've concluded that he might actually be one of my relatives because this picture is ridiculous. We've also got a question from Jake that you can watch if you click below in the little link. I'll have that as a separate thing.
I just met Jon Favreau and now my brain is about to explode and I just don't even know anything anymore. How are you guys? How are you feeling about that?
Feeling good. It's awesome.
It's a really good film.
Yeah.
Where is Scarlett Johansson? Give me Scarlett Johansson.
On the second day, there was a food truck and red carpet event. What that meant was that you would wander down this lovely red carpet with people taking pictures, completely confused as to who you are and what your significance might be in the whole realm of chef. And at the end of it, you get really tasty food. A lot of the food were things that you'd seen in the film the day before, so it was giving us more of an idea of what it was that we were missing out on, what kind of foods that we would like to have over here. And you get to try a lot of the local cuisine as well, because it was locally sourced food trucks doing these kind of dishes. Really, really good. And they gave us free drinks the whole night as well, which was great. They got to do the film again. Then Jon Favreau just wandered around for a bit at the end of that as well and got to meet all the different people that were there, again showing interest and waiting for each picture and looking a little bit more exhausted, but who can really blame him? He only got into the country a couple of hours before. They got to watch the whole film. There was a band that was playing. Just an incredible atmosphere, a lot of fun. I hope that you get to go and check out the film. If you don't want to see the film, there's a whole bunch of other things out now anyway. But I had a great time seeing it. Make sure you eat before you go, because otherwise you are going to want to run out of the cinema and find the best things that you can find. And you're going to want to eat the most expensive steaks, and it's going to just basically ruin your bank account. Just saying. I'm John. Thanks for watching.